Anyway, we're ready. Episode
All right.
29. We have done 29 of these so far.
29.
We do it weekly. We started in January. And we've been doing it. We've missed a week here or there, and stuff like that. Vacations or technical issues. We've had some technical issues.
We did one in my shop, and like 15 people came, and there's like 4 of us talking, but there was a bunch over here talking in the background that ruined the whole podcast. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
and it was actually a pretty good podcast, but
it really went off the rails. I really did think it was a good podcast.
Well, it was. We were talking about we were out side by side, razors and stuff, and do all the stupid hills and mountains and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We were all sitting there talking about that, and I thought it was cool, but he doesn't do that. So if it was about food, he'd be about it.
No, it's not necessarily that. It's just it was so many different topics.
We get off in tangents and just talk about like the
and it was just
thing
there was just so much that it was just
It'll lose people's interest.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's not what we're doing here on episode 29, right?
Episode
That's right.
29.
29.
Paige and Amy.
That's right.
You want it to be Doc Brown Distillery with Paige and Amy with Doc Brown?
Doc Brown Farm and Distillers. Because we are not a distillery. We are distillers. So it's Doc Brown, the farm, and distillers.
So what's the difference?
Big difference.
Yeah. So I'm asking, what's the difference?
Yeah. So the distillery has all the equipment.
Right.
The still,
on
the
site.
fermenters, on site.
They don't.
And we don't. We contract distill. So we use beautiful Vendome 30-foot copper column still, big old 1,500-gallon pot still, Vendome everything. The fermenters, you have to climb on a ladder to get in to look at them. I mean, it's state of the art. And to build that is millions upon millions upon millions. So a lot of people, you would be surprised at the brands out there that contract distill.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
We don't have to have the equipment. We don't have to have the overhead of the staff. We don't have to have the insurance. And so
the license,
yeah. Even though we have a DSP,
right?
And we don't have to. So it's there's a big difference. So a lot of brands out there doing exactly what we're doing to keep the overhead down, but control of the product. We have 100% control of our product.
Okay.
100% control. Yeah. But it's almost like renting a house. You rent a house, you have the right to live there.
Yeah.
And eat whatever food you want to there and do whatever you want to there. But you don't have the responsibility if the roof leaks.
A lot nicer.
Something breaks.
That's right.
And that happens on all that high-powered equipment. It breaks, and those are $10,000 fixes.
Right.
Yes.
And so we made a choice early on that that's not how, with a good level-headed consultant, that's not how the market is going and not how you guys need to go. This is how you need to go. So we are farmers first. That is
farmer and distillery.
Yeah, farmers and distillers.
Distillers.
Doc Brown Farm and Distillers.
She's the Doc, I'm the Brown.
So where did that come from?
Combination of our names.
Just made it up one day. Well, this was before we got into the whiskey making business too.
Yeah.
We needed to name a farm.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, let's just call it Doc Brown Farm.
Yeah.
So we started there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it morphed as we started growing corn and decided to take a stab at growing making some whiskey. And then we had to add the distillers on the back.
My wife has a chemistry degree, and her dad's been begging her to try to make something because he's big into bourbon. Like, he's got 400 different bottles on his bar in his house, and she's like, I just don't have time for it. And I'm like, she's like, I know I can do it.
Oh, yeah.
And because she talked to the master distillers up there at Angel's Envy. When we were up there. And she's like, girl, you can do this. Like, telling her, like, all the stuff she knows. And she's like, wow, I don't even know that. Like,
Right.
She graduated from Auburn, so sadly.
Yeah. Science and art combined.
Sadly.
It's truly science and art combined.
Yeah. The reason I asked about the Doc Brown is because Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies, obviously. And so
we get that all the time.
Yeah.
People will stop us in grocery stores when they see the Doc Brown on the front or the back, and they're like, so did you name it for, Doc Brown?
To the future? And I kind of look at them like, no.
We love that. We love the show too. It's one of our favorites. But So it's a combination. Paige is Paige Dockweiler, but she's also a cancer specialist.
Okay.
And so most, like the grandkids call her Doc and all that, most of the friends. And then I'm Amy Brown. So it's like, let's just
So it
call it that.
works.
So
Perfect.
Doc Brown Farm started first.
Yeah.
We started growing corn.
Yeah.
And then our initial intent was to grow enough corn to make a couple of barrels a year only for us.
Personally.
Just to
Yeah.
personal, give it away, graduations, weddings,
Right.
certain types of things that you celebrate. And when the master distiller got his hands on it, he's like, nobody else here in Georgia is doing this.
Yeah.
I think y'all are on to something. And so Dan, my oldest son Daniel, who can't be here tonight, Paige and I sat down and we're like, this is the worst decision ever. But if we're going to do it,
Might as well try it.
we got a pinky promise up front that, we're all in it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a hard road. A lot of different decisions. Because when you're the farmer, you have a whole set of problems.
Right.
Yeah.
And not problems, just problems.
Deer.
Right.
Deer, insects. Since we're non-genetically modified corn, we don't use Roundup sprays or harsh chemicals. So we are a non-genetically sustainable farm. We fight weather. When I say fight it, we never fight weather. Weather is what weather is. But you have to learn to deal with it. Too little rain, too much rain.
Yeah.
Too much sunshine, not enough sunshine. And the grains that we grow are all in the grass family. So we grow a bruisey rye and this beautiful Jimmy red corn. And of course, corn is a grass. And so you have to treat it as such. And so that the weather is one of our biggest obstacles as farmer. Any farmer will tell you that. Any farmer.
Especially in Georgia.
Especially
Yes.
in
Because Georgia's one day, it's like the past few mornings been 58, 60 degrees in the morning. I'm like, yes, this is nice.
Yes.
And then it'll be 102.
Yeah. I'll go on vacation and it'll be 100 degrees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it will be.
And raining.
And raining.
Yeah.
So Georgia weather, the wildlife,
Yes.
the deer, the raccoons. Raccoons can destroy a
Cornfield?
cornfield.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Coyotes.
So coyotes, we have over there, the 100-acre farm, we have a black coyote that both of my sons have spotted. And I mean, it's beautiful. They've been able to take pictures of it. But I mean, you constantly fight that.
Yeah.
And and then we have old equipment. Some of our tractors are 1968 and 69s and all that. Now, they're good.
Oh yeah.
They're the old
They're
John
good
Deere.
They're actually the good ones.
They're
They are
actually the
good.
good ones. But
Yeah.
then
They're
all
easy
of
to
a
work on,
sudden
too.
you got, we had to split open. We name all our tractors, and we have an Uncle Bogue out there, and we had to split him open because he had a cracked seal, and then
Replace the clutch.
replace the clutch.
Yeah.
And that was, what, $5,000 later. You're like, all
Yeah,
right.
it costs a lot.
And then, we're subject to, I'm talking specifically with the farm, we're subject to cost of fertilizer. We're subject to cost of diesel fuel.
Yeah.
So our input cost just to get this corn out of the ground and into the combine and into the kernel, which goes into the mash consistency, which makes the liquid. There's a lot that goes into that a lot of people are not aware of. But I tell people everywhere we go and do speaking engagements or like different Kiwanis, Rotaries, and things, everything you touch today started with a farmer.
Yeah.
If you have on a cotton shirt, it came off a farm. If you sleep on cotton sheets or towels, came from a farmer. If you had 3 or 4 meals today, there's a farmer somewhere. And we've gotten away from that, and we don't realize the impact that it does have on our economy, our local economy, our broad economy. Paige grew up on a farm, a huge farm. Her
South
daddy was
Georgia. I grew up farming.
farming.
Watermelons, cantaloupes, corn,
You ever have to
soybeans.
toss watermelons?
Oh yeah.
My father-in-law complains about it all the time. He's like, back in my day, I had the tallest watermelons.
I did.
I hate watermelon now.
Well,
I used to pick tomatoes on a farm, and I would not eat tomato, and I
know.
just started eating them again. And
I know.
my wife's like, "Are you okay? You're eating a tomato," and I'm like, "I just want to try it and see what it's like
I
again."
know.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Yep. So I grew up farming.
Big.
So I
farm.
love it. Lots of farming, lots
Yeah.
of crops, hundreds and hundreds of acres for sure.
And I grew up on a small farm. Papa had several hundred acres too, but he was a hog farmer, so we grew the corn to feed the hogs, and he had a sausage company. And I think both of us share the let's not do this for the rest of our life idea.
Yeah.
So, go to college, get a degree, get a good job.
Oh yeah, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to leave the farm and go to college. And look at me. I just circled right back around to
farming.
a little bit later in life, though.
I know.
But still, I mean, I still have my favorite seasons. Like in the fall, there's nothing like South Georgia when they're turning the peanuts over out of the soil. And you smell that fresh dirt. My daddy would take me in the fields and he would lift up dirt and he'd say, smell the dirt. He taught me to smell the dirt and look at the color and the richness of it. And then working in the watermelon fields and the soybeans and the cotton. So I have every season, I think of some type of crop that I can attach a memory to.
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me because I don't want to forget it. And I love it. I love it.
When we turn the soil here, so we have a big bottom plow. And when you bottom plow, you're basically going really, really deep in the soil and turning it almost like you're flipping it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we flip the soil when we do, it has that aroma. And she's like, smell the soil.
It's like it smells like South Georgia.
And listen, it all starts there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The soil.
Turn it.
The soil is what matters. The nitrogen, the micro and the micronutrients. And we do soil testing. We test our soil often just to make sure that corn requires a lot of nitrogen. And so, you can deplete it. Mm-hmm. And as y'all drove in tonight, you saw one field over there that's empty. We let it lay fallow this year.
Yeah.
And you have to. You have to let the earth rest and not plant anything on it. And we did. And here soon we'll bring the bottom plow and we'll plow it under, and we're going to do cover crops. Every year we do cover crops. This year we're doing the crimson red clover.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's multi-purpose. You saw the bees.
Yeah.
And so bees love clover. Mm-hmm. And so we'll have the clover that puts nitrogen back into the earth. And then it also works as a fabulous resource for
the winter
bees.
Yeah.
For the winter months to feed the bees.
They used to be planting with corn though. What, last year, year before? When I was over here one time, I don't remember.
Yeah,
we did have corn over there.
Did have corn. So and every year we try to rotate, especially over there on the 100-acre farm. We kind of what I call quarter rotate. So where the Abruzzi rye grew, we have corn now, and then we'll turn it, and then we'll rotate it so that at no given time is the corn doing all of the nitrogen gathering, because the Abruzzi rye helps put it back in there. So we constantly are crop rotating. Abruzzi gets planted in November, and we harvest it in June. It's a beautiful baker's grain, came from Italy. Abruzzi, Italy, and it came to the University of Georgia in the 1950s. So it is a Georgia grain that University of Georgia highly prizes. It is a distiller's choice. It has all of the properties that a distiller wants in a rye when they're cooking it. When you go to distill it, and we have some straight off the still for y'all to try, and it really puts out just a beautiful, beautiful flavor profile as is. So those are the two crops we grow. We do not grow our wheat. We have local farmers that do grow the wheat, and then the only other thing that we use is a very, very small amount of barley, and barley is what I call the middle child. Barley is kind of like the person that holds everything together, right? So that kind of keeps all those grains working in tandem. If it's Uncle Bogue is a Jimmy Red corn and a Bruisey rye spirit. Then we have our Effie Jewel, and she's a 4-grain being wheat, rye, corn, and a very small amount of barley. So that's why we don't grow our own wheat. We use it only in one mash bill. And it doesn't, like I said, the input cost.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't pay us to do that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I had a question. What was it? Dang. Anyway, skip that part.
Skip that part.
Sorry,
you can cut that part out.
Yeah. No, I leave it in.
It happens a lot for me.
Yeah, it does. So I see you got those 2 flavors there. I also see that y'all have some creams.
Yes.
Right?
My wife made a coffee yesterday, like 4 p.m., and just kind of poured that in there. She said it was fantastic. She just sat in the driveway and watched kids play and drinking it. Iced coffee. She loves it. Gosh, she loves it.
So how many different flavors do you guys have, or different options do you guys
have? Do we have? So the reason we started out with creams, a lot of times when you start in the spirit industry, especially bourbon, because it has to do this thing called aging, there's not a revenue stream.
Yeah,
right.
Not off the front.
There's not a revenue stream. Highly front end loaded financially. So we knew we had to create a revenue stream, and we started having people asking, like, we love following y'all, but when are you going to put a product out?
Yeah.
So we talked to several industry leaders, and they're like, you guys would be great to put out a bourbon cream.
Yeah.
So we put out 4 different flavor profiles of a bourbon cream: the butter pecan, espresso, peppermint mocha, and salted caramel. And Garden and Gun Magazine 2024 voted our butter pecan 23, my bad, 2023 voted our butter pecan best of the South.
That's what she had.
Yeah, and it is like eating
good.
butter pecan ice cream with a splash of bourbon in it. It is so good.
Just pour it over ice cream.
Yeah, you can
make a good milkshake with it. Right?
Yeah,
I think that was her plan tonight when I got home.
Bake with it, cook with it. You can pour it in coffee and pour it over ice. And then I'll let you speak of some of our Day Swigger series.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, too, about the bourbon creams. We were real excited to pull all of those flavors together. And just knowing that we're using authentic materials and products, if you will, real dairy cream, our 2+-year-old bourbon. I mean, it's as natural as it comes, and we were really, really proud of that. And then natural, real extracts. There's nothing artificial in them at all, and that really means a lot to us, too. And those products have done really well, in addition to over ice or neat. You can drizzle it over pound cake or ice cream. I mean, it's just delicious, and they sit at 39 proof.
Okay.
And by law, a cream cannot be higher than 40 proof, just to give you a real frame of reference. So we did really well there.
So, and then how shelf stable is that? For me, does it have like a shelf life once I open it of so many days?
Yeah, 2 years. Great question.
Okay.
Shelf life's 2 years. You do not have to refrigerate it. You can. It's shelf stable for 2 years.
Okay.
The chemists, they took care of all of that, the distillers, and it's done really well. They're really delicious products.
Yep.
I'm willing to place a bet ours won't last but a week.
I was going to say, that's what, when people say, now how long will this last? And I'm like, well, if it can last 2 years, you got 2 years to consume it. They're like, oh no, never mind.
Yeah.
But,
and peppermint mocha was probably the most difficult for us to get right, because we had to taste about 25 different types of peppermint extracts, and that was really, really hard. But we finally got it right. We knew what we wanted it to taste like a Andes mint, and we finally got it there.
Yeah.
And it's great year-round. Some people want to say, oh, it's just for Christmas. Not really. It's great for year-round. Hot chocolate or anything. It's just really, really good.
Yeah, peppermint's a very difficult flavor profile to work with, because it can taste medicine-y. It can taste like toothpaste. It can taste like, like hard alcohol type, rock gut alcohol, and you're like, So it took that many times, and we have a chemist that works on these flavor profiles with us. We know what we want things to taste like,
Right.
but we have to get it. It's what you see in your mind, and you taste something. You're like, oh, that's good. But then to get it
Right.
To that point.
to where you're like, that's it, that nailed it. It took 25 times, and I kept sending the chemist
Gosh.
little sleeves of Andy's mints, and I'm like, you're almost there, but eat another one.
Yeah.
This is what we want this to
Yeah.
taste like.
That's like one of my random facts that I have that I like to share with people is whenever you eat like a banana now and then you taste like a banana extract, it's two different flavor profiles.
Yes.
But that's because the banana extract flavor is from bananas from the 1950s that aren't even in existence anymore because everything's been genetically modified to where it'll last longer on the shelf in this nature. So that's why
How about that?
that banana flavor is not the same as a banana now.
Oh.
Have you guys ever thought about doing pumpkin spice cream?
We've had that
I think
question.
that you would sell it everywhere.
We have had that.
talked about that.
I think you should try it. You should try it.
I think that will be next on
Yeah,
our.
that
Maybe
might
not
be
like a
better.
big supply first, but just try like a small run of it.
Maybe just like a seasonal, kind of like what
October, November,
October, November.
September to November.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that they already got them out in stores now.
They have
Yeah.
a bunch
Oh,
of
yeah.
different ones, but if you could get yours out there,
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy how the shelf life, shelf works. Yeah, what's out there now? We've been working months
Right.
in advance
Yeah.
for what we all call OND, which is October, November, December.
Yeah.
And so you start working in February
Right.
for that.
Yeah.
And you're constantly working about 6 to 9 months ahead of the game.
Yeah.
To get things out.
That's like before I do what I do now, I did retail management for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And one of them was at the world's largest retailer, Walmart.
Yeah.
And the way I would do it there, I had a playbook, and I would be planning these holidays and stuff months in advance, because if I didn't, then I'd be just reacting instead of being proactive about
Exactly.
it. And that's never good for any business. Just to be reactive is never good.
No.
So,
No, never.
the planning's the best part about it.
It is. Yeah. So we have to do that. We have to, we will plan, like right now, we are in the end stages of a fabulous peach whiskey.
Ooh.
And it's made
exciting.
with real peach puree.
Yeah.
It's like really, I took a sample today to a store up in my old stomping grounds, Beaufort, Georgia, and they're like, holy moly. And I'm like, well, this ain't out on the shelf yet. We're at the very end stages of getting the science right. We've got the flavor right. And now you have to come in and you have to get the science and all of that so that you can create it in bulk. Right? Because it's one thing to make a small jar in your backyard and be like, man, that's the best ever.
yeah.
To mass produce that.
Right. Yeah, to say, hey, that was the best ever, and then when you go to make it the next time, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Right, and then
It's not the
oh
same.
man, well I left this out, and then you try to make it that third time, and it's still not the same. So
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah, and then you got to keep in mind too. Just recently, the word terroir, which has been around forever, of course, in the wine industry, is now making a huge impact in the spirits world. Trees that house our bourbon, trees grown in the Pacific Northwest versus trees grown in the South, they're going to have a different flavor profile. Yeah, they're white oak, and that's what
true.
you're required to use. But they've grown in different regions.
Yeah.
One's not as hot as we are. One is, the different soils. We're red clay here in Georgia.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest is not. It also is now huge in the grains. We had the honor, and very huge honor, of going to the James Beam Institute and University of Kentucky last year. They invited us up to be a part of what's called the Estate Whiskey Alliance. And it's for people like us who grow our grains and produce our spirits. And that's the buzzword right now in the whiskey world is terroir. The corn we grow here is different than the corn they grow in Kentucky or Iowa or Indiana or whatever, any other state.
Right.
And so this year's bottle could taste totally different than last year, because last year we didn't have hardly any rain. We were, if you remember, it was
I
like
do
It's
remember.
very dry.
very, very, very dry, critically dry, and critically hot.
Yeah.
Well, we got to have rain, got to have water. And then this year we've had wonderful rain,
Lots of
but you're like, okay, all right,
slow down.
slow down a little bit. So this year's corn and the distilling of this year's corn is going to be totally different from last year's because of that,
Right.
the weather conditions. And the good thing about what we do, we can actually track that
Right.
because our grains never sit in a silo. You won't see a silo on this farm. We take it straight from the field. We have our grains cleaned. We have a local farmer that has a grain cleaning machine. And then we go straight into distilling. So we plant after Easter, after last frost, the corn. We harvest in September. By the end of the year, all of our corn it's all in barrels. So we can track the weather of that year, the growing patterns of that year. Was it a good year yield-wise? What was the circumference of our corn cobs? How many kernels per cob? All the yields, all the things that you want to, that goes into this, right?
Right.
Last year is going to be totally different. And then once it gets to the distilling process, that process is pretty consistent because it's our mash bill year after year. The grains are different and the barrels are different because the barrels are a different tree. And so that tree has its own flavor profile.
Right.
Right? And the thing with the barrel, this is one of our barrel staves. You want your bourbon, there's our liquid line. You want your bourbon to go deep like that. You want it to go deep into that liquid line. And, and people ask us all the time, do we, are your barrels stored in a climate controlled? I'm like, oh no, you don't want that.
Yeah.
You want your barrels to go through the 4 seasons.
Right.
And the beautiful thing about Georgia, our weather patterns are so broad.
Yeah.
We have hot, which, everything expands like, oh my God, that barrel gets, which brings that bourbon.
Yeah.
That's what happens. It opens it up. And then it gets cold, and we'll have 19-degree days. And so that bourbon contracts and comes out. And so it's that accordion, right?
In and out.
That's what you want.
Right.
And so they do not sit in a climate-controlled warehouse. They are in a non-climate controlled where we feel the heat, we feel the cold. We love the spring and summers. I mean, spring and falls. You can lift the doors up and sit there and have a beautiful fall day in amid of thousands and thousands of barrels. So it's that process right there too. So when people ask us what are the flavor profiles that you go for, we say our mash bill does not change.
That's
But
right.
our grains will change because of weather, and our barrels will change because it's a different year and a different tree.
Very true.
So everything that's made this year, I mean, obviously it'll be broken up into different things. You'll pull it at 2 years for the creams, right?
Right.
And then, so what's your standard pool for those?
We typically like Uncle Bogue to have a 4-year statement.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever's out there today, it'll be 2 to 4 years before we'll taste the difference on
absolutely.
that. So that's what I was
Right.
trying to get.
Yeah. And age statements have been really, really big in the bourbon industry, especially in the past few years. But again, we're seeing some shifts. We're seeing some big shifts in the market. And what we tell people is when it's ready, it's ready. And if the flavor profiles are there and we like it, we'll release it. Why not?
Right.
Why not let us get full use out of that barrel instead of the angel share?
Right.
Because every year we're losing evaporation.
Right.
And if the notes are there and the depth and look at that color. If all of that's there, pull it.
Yeah. Right.
We don't get hung up on age statements, and I know probably people listening to this will be like, oh, but the age statement. And that's okay. The good thing about bourbon and whiskey is everybody has their own preference, and
Yep.
nobody is right and nobody is wrong.
You are
Right.
correct.
If it tastes good to you, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
You
Right.
can't work yourself to death to make a product that everybody's gonna like. It just doesn't work that way.
You can't.
Or the right proof. You know, you may want 110 proof. You may want a 95 proof. So we just try to make the best product we can.
We do.
Let it stay in the barrel as long as it
As
can.
long as it can.
And when it's ready and our master distiller says, hey, I think it's ready, we're like, let's
Pull it.
pull it.
Yeah.
Let's pull it. It's go time.
The
Good
amount
deal.
of barrel science there is. So we went to all the, well, I told you a bunch of distilleries up there, and the amount of time that we spent talking about barrels
Yes.
is insane.
It
But
is.
it's awesome because you're like, I didn't know that. You watch them build them, the char. You
Yes.
got different char on every barrel. I mean,
Yep.
Yes.
the levels of char. I mean, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's insane. We're going back in February. We were going to go November, but we're going to Disney in December, so we're going to wait till February to go. But we'll go February and do
Yep.
the ones, do more.
People don't realize the importance of a barrel. People, you know, you have to start with good grains. You cannot take bad grains and put them in the hand of a master distiller and expect it to turn out well. He or she can only do so much, right?
Right.
Can only do so much with bad grains. But if you start with good grains, a really good mash bill, in the hands of a fabulous master distiller, and then you enter into that last stage where all this work this year, and farming is 7 days a week, 365 days a year, so there's no time off. All that work ends up in a barrel. In a barrel.
That's right.
And we're dependent on it to age properly and don't bust a leak and show up one day at the warehouse and it's everywhere. I mean, there's so many things, but the charring process is
That's pretty cool.
it is pretty
It's
cool.
very cool.
And we kind of explain it to people. If you have a cut on your hand and you go into a lake that has some bacteria in
West
it,
Point.
exactly, you're going to be susceptible, right? Maybe your immune system will fight it off, maybe it won't. But that bacteria is going to get into your system. It's going to be a systemic. That's what charring does to wood. If I pour water on my arm right now with no cuts, it's going to roll off. If you put bourbon into that, no char. I mean,
It's not going to do
it's
anything.
going to sit
It
there.
has nothing to seep into.
The-
So
the
char is
char-
word.
Opens up the fibers of the
Mhm.
wood.
Yep.
Opens it up and allows it, just like a cut allows something to get into your system. The charring allows the bourbon to enter in. So you got a deep, I mean, we almost made it to the
That's
end.
yeah, that's good.
That's a deep one. But that charring does that. The charring also gives flavor profile. We use char 4. So our
Okay.
level is char
Yeah.
4 on all of our stuff. And then, you know, the heads are toasted. So so you get the toasting on the heads.
At Old Forester, they let us char like they'd have a couple barrels and you go up there and push the button.
Yeah,
and
oh,
let
set
us
it on
char-
fire.
Yeah, set it on fire. It's really cool to watch.
And it's a few seconds.
Yeah, it's not much.
It's
just
not much.
boom,
Yeah,
burning.
yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is cool. So we have to take off the farming hat and then put on, you know, the
distillery hat,
distiller
Even
distiller
though we
hat.
are not distillers,
Right.
but when we're there,
When we're
we're
there
very
with Matt. So
hands-on.
Matt is our master distiller and we're learning it.
Yeah.
We're there with them, hand in hand.
Right.
It's a lifelong.
No, I'm sure.
It's a lifelong learning. But Matt trained in Scotland
Okay.
and he has his master's in distilling and science. And so when it goes into his hands and we're there watching this whole process from day after day after day, it is so cool to see all of that hard work that you put in
Yeah.
out in the field, you know, become this
very
product
rewarding.
and that. So
Yeah.
so anyway, and then back to, so we have the bourbon creams.
Right.
That was our first product that we rolled out, and it was necessary to create a revenue stream.
Right.
Second one that we released a few bottles, and these were the barrels that were supposed to be quote unquote ours to give out when we started this as just hey, let's just do this for fun.
Right.
And then we started when the bees, we brought in bees to the farm, knowing that corn is wind pollinated, but there's a lot of research now that corn with bees on the ground have a bigger yield and a bigger kernel and all of that. And there's a lot of research going into that. All of a sudden we had all this honey. We're like, oh my God, we're going to do this honey. And I'm like, well, it only makes natural. We'll sell some, but we'll make a honey whiskey.
Yeah.
So our honey whiskey, we take the honey from the bees, pour it into the barrels, and we let it sit 60 to 90 days. Our honey whiskey is not like hurt your teeth sweet. It's not like you're like, oh, that's sweet. It's our honey.
It's
Right.
good.
And it's good. And again, that flavor profile is going to change from season to season. You have a spring honey and then you have a fall honey.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the spring flowers where everything's budding and you're like, wow, that was flavorful. And then you got, okay, what did they pollinate through the summer? Well, they pollinated our corn,
Yeah.
the tassels, which are flowers. They pollinated our kitchen garden. And so we make honey whiskey, and then we make a fabulous hot honey whiskey. We take 11 varieties of peppers, and we now grow them.
My bottle's hot.
Your bottle's
My
hot.
bottle's hot.
We now grow the peppers, and it's a mixture of hot peppers and sweet peppers. Some of them you can just eat.
Yeah.
The other day we were out in the pepper patch, and I'm like, I hadn't tried that one, and I bit into it thinking,
I
oh
said,
man.
be careful.
I know. But it was good. So we make a hot honey, and then from that we take that hot honey, peppers and all, seeds and all, put it into the barrel, and we let that hot honey with all the peppers infuse that bourbon, and it is so good.
It's good.
Makes a great spicy margarita. Bourbon margaritas are
I didn't even
huge.
think about telling her
Yep.
to do that. She did so she just started infusing tequilas that are on our shelf with. She grew some jalapenos in our
Yeah.
garden. She's making her own tequila over there.
Yep.
I didn't even think about doing that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell her to do that.
Bourbon margaritas are a huge thing right now. It makes a great base for like a barbecue sauce.
Mhm.
All you got to do is add your ketchup, your brown sugar, your this, that. Pour a little bit of that hot honey bourbon. Think about that. Great barbecue sauce. You can
It's
marinate.
delicious in sweet tea.
It's delicious in
It's
sweet
really
tea.
or unsweet tea, either or.
Hot old
It's
fashioned.
really good.
Yeah.
Old fashioned, I can get
You
with.
could get a hot spicy old fashioned. So that hot honey was an experiment, and it turned out to be one of our
Fabulous.
best sellers.
It's really good.
Yeah,
But for some reason, mine's warm.
yeah, it's warm.
Yeah,
It's
it
warm.
can be. Yeah, and what we decided to use in that product line is our 3-year bourbon.
Okay.
So, and they are sitting at 88 proof. So we wanted them to have a little bit of a punch to them. And the third one is a butter pecan whiskey, and it is delicious. It's
Yep.
to die for. It's the same extract that we use in the cream, but we put it in the whiskey.
And then the
And
fourth
all
one will
natural.
be
All
peach.
of them are all natural. Yep, and we're going to
Fourth
roll
one
out
will
a
be
peach,
Yep.
I can
and
get
it
with
is
peach.
delicious.
We're hoping
So
to have
far.
it out
Peach and some sweet
this
tea.
fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my dad's. Like, whenever this was probably, I think it was before me and my wife got married. So probably like 14 years ago, we were in Gatlinburg and we did like the old Smoky tour
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
And my dad had got like a thing of peach, and he was just pouring it in that sweet tea.
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, he had 3 bottles, and we were like, "What happened to them bottles you had?" And he was like, "Oh, I just been drinking this tea," and he was just
I know it is.
peach and tea is just killer.
It is.
Yeah, especially if it's cold.
It is.
Yes.
So that'll be our 4th lineup in the Day Swigger series,
Okay.
and we named it the Day Swigger for just we want you to, if it's your daily drinker, it's
Take a swig of it.
take a
Well, and we
swig.
started out putting it in a 200 ml bottle,
Yeah.
which will continue that product line.
For your back pocket.
For your back pocket, put it in your pocket. A lot of golfers like to shove it in their golf
Yeah.
bag, but
Call
we've
John
had
Bailey.
so much request to increase the size to a 750 that we're actually going to make all the products in a 750 as well. So you'll have a choice
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Especially bartenders, they really like using the hot honey and such as mixers.
Oh yeah.
So
I
they'd
bet it would
rather
probably
have the
go over
larger
pretty
bottle.
well.
Oh yeah, yep. So
Remind me when we get done so I can tell my wife. I'll forget by then.
Yep. So
Oh, about
that's
the
kind
bourbon
of
margarita.
yeah. Oh, they're a big thing right now.
Yeah, I have to tell
We
her.
just sent a bottle to an influencer out in Houston. We send out probably 10 samples, a month?
Probably a month. Yeah.
And we sent out one to Whiskey KK is her name, and she did a fabulous job. She films it right then, opening it up. And
Yep.
she's like, "Uh-oh, I was really skeptical on this one."
It was a good review.
It was. We're like,
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank
they can
you.
be bad, and we're
Yeah.
okay with that. We
Yeah.
know when we send these bottles off,
Yeah.
we don't ask for only if you're good to us.
It
Right,
doesn't
right.
work
we'll
that
post
way.
it.
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way. If you
Mhm.
don't like
You
it,
gotta
that's
have
okay.
you gotta have the truth.
You got to have truth.
Well, and I think from our chair, we have to really trust these people.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about it,
Yeah.
we don't know the influencers, and we're sending them our samples, and we're hoping we get a good review.
And if
Yeah.
not, if they see something we can tweak, we certainly
Yeah,
take
we're
that
open
into
to ideas or
consideration. Yeah.
suggestions as
What
well.
about has the guy bourbon goggles? Has he tried it?
I don't know if he's tried it or not.
I met him at Bardstown up there. Sitting
Yeah.
there at the bar one night, me and my wife were sitting there having a drink because we couldn't get on a tour, and he walked up. He's like, "Y'all need anything?" And I think I had a podcast shirt on or something. He goes, "You do a podcast?" So we're just starting it, and we were talking and stuff. He goes, "Man, you ought to travel up here and do a podcast in my speakeasy." And then he pulled it up, and I was like, "That's your speakeasy at your house? Like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me?" So we're gonna try to.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah.
try to force Eddie to
Absolutely.
go with me up there.
Oh, make that
You
happen.
make that happen.
Hey, we'll go.
Yeah.
we can do a big trip.
That's right.
Road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always
We
fun
got to
meet
go
people.
to a place up in Nashville recently, and it was one of the biggest collections of bourbon and
Yeah.
whiskeys I've ever seen. But it's a nonprofit, and they do
Mhm.
good work with it. So people donate the bottles there, and then all of their proceeds go around to that area for different foster homes and
That's good.
animal shelters and any type of fundraisers and things like that for the less fortunate. Never
Yeah.
seen a collection like that in my
Yeah,
entire life.
it was
So
cool.
it was cool. So love seeing people like that who have a collection
Yeah.
like that's unbelievable.
I mean,
Yeah.
when I saw it, I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
My wife's like, "That's yours," and he's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Well, I thought we had a lot. We got like 100 bottles now."
Yeah.
And no, he's
Oh
got-
no.
it's
Oh.
insane.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
It is insane. Bourbon
It's
is
a hobby.
it's a hobby.
It is.
I feel like it's a hobby.
It is a hobby. And the thing about it is everybody's bottle are going to taste different, and that's why I said earlier, nobody's right and nobody's wrong.
That's right.
What is the perfect bottle of bourbon? Who knows? Because you, like Paige said, you may want it cast strength, you may want it, I may want it. I know where I like mine in the mid 90s for
Well,
a sipping.
yeah.
And so I might disagree that, hey, this Uncle Bogue to me is one of the best out on the market, but it sits at 120.8 proof. Doesn't drink like that.
No.
It drinks very, very, very smooth. But are you going to drink it every day? At that level. And so you have to look at
Don't look at me.
what what is it that makes that perfect
Yeah.
pour? Who knows? Because everybody's different.
Yeah.
They really are.
Our daily is Basil Hayden.
Yep.
Just
Okay.
regular old Basil
Yeah,
Hayden.
absolutely.
Well, it's been her. I say our. I'm more of a high noon drinker. I drink.
Oh
a lot.
yeah, yes.
High noon girl is what I am.
Oh yeah, there
And
you
I'm
go.
telling you, there's probably one in my work cooler. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
have one at work or nothing, but in the back of my truck. But
Allegedly.
we
Legend.
I'll come home and there'll be Basil Hayden sitting on the bar, and then I came home. Rock Hill Farms. You ever had that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a cheap bottle.
No, it's not.
So her dad gave us one for Christmas. We tried it, opened it, and had, all right, cool, it's good, it's really good. Let's have another. We had like 2 or 3 drinks, just small pours. Put it on the shelf. We're done with it. We're not going to touch it.
Right.
It's expensive. Leave it alone.
Uh-huh.
Come home from work. It was like a month and a half later, and it was sitting on the bar empty. And I was like,
Oh.
Uh-oh.
what happened to my Rock Hill Farms, or our Rock Hill Farms? And she said, I drank it.
Oh.
And I was like, when? She goes, oh, just throughout the month. And I was like, it's expensive.
Yeah.
She goes, like what, $90? I said, No. So I ended up finding Shannon at Bottoms Up.
Yeah,
She gave me a deal on a bottle that
Yeah.
I couldn't
couldn't
pass
refuse.
up, so I had to get another one. And we opened it the other night when I took that one home.
Yeah.
My wife's aunt and uncle from California, they're big. He's big bourbon. She's big wine.
Okay.
They live right there near Napa Valley and all that.
Oh,
So we go
yeah.
out there. We travel out there and we'll go to wineries. And
Mm-hmm.
it's insane to say a winery in Georgia to a winery in California.
Oh, exactly.
Totally.
I mean,
Totally.
they don't give you small pours in California. You get a full glass. I mean, it's
Oh,
insane.
That's your tasting.
They love that, and the day swiggers, they love those,
Yeah.
and they're like, can we get a bottle out there? So I got to figure out how we can get
Ship it.
California.
Mm-hmm. We
Ship it,
ship
yeah.
to 46 states
Okay,
from our website.
So
So,
what states do you not ship to? Obviously,
Hawaii.
Alabama.
Really?
Alabama, and it's
Yeah.
not us.
It's not us.
You can't ship to Alabama?
It's Alabama laws.
It's the state
So
law.
They're close enough. They can.
Yeah. We cannot ship to Hawaii.
right.
Yep.
Um,
South
Alaska.
Carolina.
Alaska. No, South
No,
Carolina
they finally
opened
just
up.
passed. Oh, that's right. They just opened
Is it?
up.
Is it? Was it
Ooh,
Michigan?
can't remember. Might be.
Might be.
Missouri, Michigan,
It's one of the
M's.
M states, but it's their laws.
Right.
Yeah, not us.
It's not us. So, and we have to go through the 3-tier system. So, in the spirit world, it's different than the wine world and the beer world. Winemakers can go knock on a retail store door and say, "Hey, I'd love for you to carry my wine."
Right.
They're like, "Okay, great." And they're
Yeah.
like, "Well, I've got 4 cases in the back of my van. Would you like them?" Yeah. Spirit makers, we can't do that.
Right.
We have to go through a distributor. And so they pick it up and then they work out their deal with the retail
Package
stores.
Mhm.
So when we make visit to retail stores, we're like, Eagle Rock has our stuff. Get with them on the the bulk buys, the deals, the pricing. We know what we got paid for it, but that's
Right.
their deal. That's
Yeah.
y'all's deal. It's not
Mhm.
ours. We don't cut deals. So online, our stuff goes to Texas, and we're fulfilled out of Texas.
Okay.
And so it's funny, we have a huge base in Georgia that orders our online. I can see who orders, and it goes to Texas to come back here, and I'm like,
Crazy.
come on. But we're carried in Texas as well in retail
Mhm.
stores. We're carried in Georgia. We have a Florida license. We are not in Florida yet, but we have the license to be there. And then we can ship to 46 states. And to give you an idea, we have shipped to 36 of the 46 states so far.
We're
So
proud of
we're
that.
proud
good.
of that.
I would
So
be
we
too.
have a big presence of
Following,
Mhm.
of people. So
that's pretty cool.
That's
Yep.
fantastic.
yeah, we're excited
you.
about that.
Yep.
So that takes time to grow.
Oh yeah, it does.
As you know,
Oh, I know.
with a podcast, with anything,
It's really hard.
it takes time.
And then you'll get, some people, you'll talk to them. Oh yeah, I'll do a podcast. Then you tell them they're going to sit in front of a camera, and they're like, can't do it.
I know.
Sorry.
I know it.
And
That's
then a lot of it just has to do with timing.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Really, a lot of it. Like so, like Eat Safe. I started in May, and I got for Coweta, I got 1,300 people. But for Cherokee County, I started that less than 2 months ago, and I've already got that many people.
Right.
But I had one restaurant up there that was a real cornerstone for that community, and it failed. It got like a 56.
Oh.
And it caused a lot of controversy, and I gained a lot of followers from that, because there were people on one side saying that I shouldn't have posted that score, I should have minded my own business, but I'm like, it's public information. Like, if you're upset that I posted that, that's because you probably worked there and you're upset about it now.
You're the
But
owner.
Right.
I actually like his page because I'll be like, we talk about some kind of dinner or something. I'm like, let's see what their score is. real quick." I'll go look at it.
Listen, it's important.
It is.
I know.
It is very
It really
important.
is.
You go sit down at a restaurant, you are putting your health in their hands with the cleanliness, the handling of it, the cooking of it, all of that. You are like, and I love to eat out.
Oh,
I
I do
love
too.
to
I do
eat
too.
out.
I do too.
So it's not that I don't.
I
but
love food, but I just want people to be aware. Like, food safety
Yes.
awareness is something that I try to spread out.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only way you got that information before was
Go
either
on
if
Google.
somebody failed horribly. What happened?
I don't know what happened. Heard a noise.
Oh. If somebody failed horribly and it was on the news, or if the newspaper put it in randomly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
How many
But
people look at a newspaper?
yeah, but I put it in. I put it out every day. Every day I put it out.
Good for you.
And
That's
so-
great.
Listen, I think that's important.
I appreciate it.
I do too.
So, hey,
I do too.
a lot of people do, and I get a lot of thank yous for it. So
When we walk up to a restaurant, I'm always looking.
Oh, that's the
I look
first
at
thing
that
I look at.
first.
I look
I'm
for
like,
it or I see
Yeah.
it and I'm
Yeah,
like,
and I'm like,
there's an 86. I don't know about it.
I know.
Usually it's something. It can be something dumb. It can be what?
ice.
Yeah.
It could be ice.
well, the biggest thing that I see is like mold in the ice machine.
Yes.
That's 4 points.
Yeah.
But I
There's
did
another
see
one.
I did see something. I posted one for the north side, and these people had went to a Subway, and the employee there, it was in the official report that their clothes were covered in an excessive amount of cat hair, and that
Oh.
cat hair was even in the food.
Oh.
And they got like a 70. They got a 70.
I would have been fired.
Yeah.
no.
Immediately.
But it's like,
But
I
yeah,
know.
People
but,
don't think.
people won't see that. Or
Yeah.
these restaurants, they'll get that 70, and then they won't put that up.
No, they put up last month's.
They'll put
Or-
up the one before,
One
or
before.
whatever looked good.
Yeah.
And so you'll only get 1 point taken off if they see you don't have the right one up there.
Oh, okay.
And
I
so
thought it was gonna
they'd
have-
rather take the 1 point loss than put up a 60 or a
Yeah.
70.
That's right.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Wow.
See, good for you for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I put it out there.
It does.
Well, and that's, like you said, that circles back to the awareness, the brand awareness.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Your brand,
Correct.
y'all's podcast brand.
Correct.
What you do every day, day in and day out, what we do.
Mhm.
It takes time, and this thing can't grow fast. It's bourbon. It's a slow aging spirit, and with that, it's also a slow aging brand awareness.
Right.
But what we have found, if doing things like this, being out and doing sip to lips,
Mhm.
doing our tastings,
Mhm.
doing, out in the retail store, letting people taste it, because we're allowed to do that. The state of Georgia allows us to be there in retail stores to do tastings. And, that sip to lips is what sells our bottles.
Yeah.
If you don't know about us and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. What is a hot honey? What is a honey? I've got my favorite.
Right.
But then you have them taste it. It's a game
Yeah.
changer.
Yeah.
It's a
That's how
game changer.
I got hooked on Surfside, vodka, water, whatever,
Yeah,
seltzer drinks.
Yeah.
Because I went to Bottoms Up one day.
Yep.
And it was a Friday afternoon. I was going in there to get my high noons, and the girl was sitting there doing tastings, and she's like, "Sir, you want to try this?" And I'm like, "I like high noons, And I kind of blew her off, and I kind of felt bad, and I circled back, and I was like, "Is it like a high noon?" And she's like, "Yeah, it's great." And I tried it, like 3 different flavors, and they were awesome. And
Yeah.
I was like, "All right." So I did 18 pack of this one.
I
like,
know,
and
yeah.
I went and bought a bunch of it and took it home. My wife loves it. Like
And that's why people do those. And
Yeah.
that's why those awareness is, let's be real. I think we can be real on this podcast. On
Yeah.
a Friday night, spending our Friday nights in a liquor store, it's fun. Would I rather be eating a steak somewhere?
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I'd rather be sitting down at a dinner somewhere with a good meal and whatever. But those types of Friday nights, Saturday afternoons,
the interaction.
the interaction with the people. And every time we go, we always take our corn to show people this is where it starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where we're farmers, and this is where it starts. And so that interaction, then them being able to taste the bourbon creams or the Day Swigger series and all of that.
Because, well, we know it's overwhelming. Go down
Oh,
the cream
yeah.
aisle.
Oh,
How do you
yeah.
even
Yeah.
begin to
How do you
decide which
begin?
cream you're looking for? A certain flavor, maybe. So, and then educating. A lot of people don't. They really don't know what they're drinking. Does that make sense?
It does.
They see the
especially in
name
a
of, they see
cream,
the flavor, and
they
they're
don't
like,
know
"Oh,
if
that
it's
sounds
a
good."
vodka, a rum, and so we have to say this is a bourbon cream, and they're like, oh, a bourbon cream, because other products are not made with bourbon. Now we're starting to see a little bit more bourbon creams on the market.
Right.
Totally, Buffalo
But some of
Trace,
the
et cetera,
creams
but
have been rum based.
they're
Right,
rum based,
yeah.
and people they don't know. So we spend a lot of time trying to educate too.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just about ours, but just in general. So we get a lot of enjoyment out of that as well.
Right.
Just because
Any-
it is overwhelming.
Oh yeah. Well, you go down any aisle.
Yeah, the bourbon aisle is
bourbon aisle.
overwhelming.
The bourbon aisle is overwhelming, and
Yeah, I stand there and I'm like,
I
And then
know.
you have to read the fine print on all the
Yeah.
bottles to see
Like,
what's in the
yeah.
bottle, you know.
Or who made it?
Who made it?
Who
Where did
made
it
it?
come from?
Is it a blend, or who made all this?
double oaked, is
Is
it,
it-
and all
That's
that
right.
stuff.
So
Any thoughts on bourbon, chocolate bourbon little balls or anything ever? You debating on
the
them?
candies, I would love that, but we would probably let the hands of a chocolatier
Yes.
make that. We would absolutely love that. Of course, one day, not anytime here soon, but one day we do want to open up a retail space that will have, because we do have a DSP, so we have a distilled spirit permit. And we want to be able to have people come to the farm or come to the location, be able to see the process, taste the goods, and then I've already upstairs in my dream book,
Right.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, have some really cool chocolates
something.
and
Mhm.
handmade candies with our bourbon and then our honey.
Yeah.
I mean, think
Yeah,
about
true.
all the different types of applications your honey can have.
Oh yeah.
And so that has been on the radar because
Mhm.
so Daniel, the third partner of Doc Brown, he's a UPS pilot. So he flies now the route to Germany and over to Dubai and things like that. So last Christmas, he brought home German chocolates from the German Christmas market. Best chocolate you will ever put,
It's
in my
delicious.
opinion, in your mouth. They come in these crazy boxes and they're pieces of art. Just the chocolatiers, and Dan would say, just do me an assortment. So at the time, my parents, when they were still alive, they lived over here in Summerby, over in Peachtree City, the assisted living. And they were amazing. So I told Daniel, I said, bring me back X amount of boxes of chocolates. And they're about that big for all the staff at Summerby. You would have thought we brought back the gold out of Fort Knox.
Mhm.
They're like, oh my God, I'm never eating a chocolate from America again. I said, no, I didn't do it for that reason. It's special,
Right.
and y'all are special, and
Yeah.
you've been so good to my parents.
Yeah.
And so, but that's what I would want, would be that one of a kind
Something
chocolate,
really special.
handmade
Mhm.
bourbon balls,
Something.
something honey. Yeah.
For
Yeah,
Because
sure.
I remember all the tastings at the end of, or you would do the bourbon ball. They'd be like, "Hey, take a bite of this chocolate or the orange."
Yes.
Which I think Angel's Envy has the orange
The
one.
orange.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Take a bite of this, and then take a sip of this."
Clean
or
your palate,
vice-
yeah.
Mm-mm.
And that's what made me think of it. I was like,
Yep.
Sounds delicious.
And there's an art in just tasting.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There is
Like,
definitely an
There's
art.
definitely an art. A lot of times we've had to learn this. This
Yeah.
is all new to us. I mean, we can go from the field to here, and then you're like, oh, there's an art to tasting. Oh, okay, let's
Gotta do
learn
that
that.
too.
Let's learn that too. But the first thing that you do is you taste with your eyes.
Right.
You see it.
Mhm.
Second thing you do, you taste with your nose. Your nose, your smell changes every 12 hours. So your right nostril may be dominant now. In 12 hours or however many hours, it'll be your left nostril.
Did you know that? I didn't either.
Okay, so if you take a glass, a highball glass, and you pour a pour of bourbon whiskey in there, you'll be able to know which side is your dominant side. So you nose it,
Yeah.
and you nose it long enough to where you actually kind of start tasting it,
Yeah.
right? But you don't do it out of a Glencairn. A Glencairn, the way the Glencairns are shaped, they can trap the gases.
Mhm.
So you want to do it in a highball when you pour that and it breathes. And then if you need to put a droplet of water in to open it up, it's like that water just opens it up. Then you taste with your mouth, right? So you taste with your senses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And people, that's the art of knowing how to visualize it. That's when these master tasters, they get our stuff. The first thing they do is they'll swirl it around and they're like, oh, look at the color. And they'll spend 5 minutes on just what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on
It's
now,
true.
taste it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yep. And then they'll nose it. And they're like, oh man, I smell chicory root. And I'm like, how'd you get that? I'm not saying they've smelled
Yeah,
that out of
right,
ours,
right,
but
right,
they come
right.
up
It's
with
amazing.
these
Crazy things.
weird flavors. And I'm like, okay, how'd you
That's
get
not-
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they taste it.
Yeah.
And that's the art of it. And so that's that. And then, of course, you want especially your higher end bourbons, you want it to have a long finish. You don't want it to burn so bad that you're like, what just happened? I can't even taste anything now. You want it to have a great flavor profile, and then you want it to linger. You want that long finish. And so that's kind of, and that's just a scratch of the surface.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's just like the 3-minute elevator speech of tasting.
Right.
We're still novices at that. We're still learning that process. But it is an art.
Mhm.
It is an art. So, and like Paige said earlier, you've got to know what you like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If your daily drinker's a Basil Hayden, if your daily drinker's a Woodford or a
Just
Maker's
yeah,
Mark,
just
or
a simple question will help you know. Okay, which lane are you in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
You know.
Makes sense.
So
Yep.
right.
You learn a lot on those bourbon tours up there.
Oh gosh,
I bet
yeah.
you do.
Wow. My brain after the third, because you can just about only do 3 a day.
You can.
we've been to Bardstown.
And
Yep.
Been there, but
once at the end of the day, you're like, my wife was making notes in her phone, recording conversations, so we could go back home and listen to how it was made, everything. And
Yeah.
you got to taste the mash, all the everything. I mean, it is wild what goes into this.
The thing with bourbon is there's some very clear cut guidelines
There
that
is.
you
Yes.
have to follow. And we all have to follow those. Do people break the rules? Of course they do. You're always going to have that. But bourbon has to be 51% corn. Anything after 51% can be a combination of any grains, whether it's wheat, rye, barley, millet, whatever, sorghum, whatever, but it has to be. Has to go into a brand new, never used white oak barrel. So it cannot go into a used cask that had anything else in it before. No coloring, ever. No flavoring.
no flavoring.
You cannot use flavoring. That's why, even though our Day Swiggers is using a 4-year bourbon this year, because we put honey in it, real honey, not a flavoring, real honey, it's now a bourbon whiskey.
Anything you add to it makes it a bourbon whiskey.
That's correct.
Anything you add to it, whereas this is straight bourbon. And so there's a lot of nuances that we all have to, and that's just again just the scratch of the surface.
Right.
But everybody has to follow that. A lot of people have the idea that Kentucky's the only state that can make bourbon. No, United States is the only country that can make bourbon. Bourbon cannot be made anywhere else in the world. So bourbon falls under the umbrella of whiskey, but so does Irish whiskey, so does Scotch, right? So does bourbon, so do flavored whiskeys. So all bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon. So you have to, because bourbon has a very narrow lane and it has a very narrow set of standards that are required to be followed. So that's and everybody's mash bill is different.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So you're going to have some that are high wheat, some that are high rye, some that are all corn, some that are, maybe a 4 or 5 grain. So
That's wild.
yeah,
We got like 14 minutes left
okay.
of space. So
What are you gonna do?
whatever you want to do.
He can
just
take anything out.
I was just letting you know.
Oh, okay.
How much time we had left? Because when we get to the end of that, I got no more tape. So.
Are you on that old-fashioned tape machine?
It's a SD card in there.
I got you.
Oh,
I'm
that's
teasing.
good.
No, it's no
So
worries.
we ran
I
over.
wish I had like a reel to reel.
Oh, I know the old-fashioned.
Yeah, the audio would be so crisp.
Yeah, be a lot better.
Anyway, go ahead.
We went over how you got started, right?
Yes.
The idea, where you're at,
What we farm.
what we
Yeah.
farm, you farm,
All the different flavors.
all the
All
different
the different
flavors.
products. Yep.
Our future products,
ideas.
which are
with the
the
peach.
with
Try the
peach.
pumpkin spice.
Okay.
And when it blows up,
I know. I'll have to say,
let me have a
Daniel
bottle of
told me.
I don't drink it, my wife does, but
Daniel told
no,
me
just-
to do that.
I think that, especially in the South, I think that would be a.
Right.
'Cause
What other-
Every white girl goes to Starbucks. My wife texted me yesterday. Dunkin' has pumpkin out now.
I know.
I'm like,
I know.
every day I
saw
pick her up a
that.
coffee, and
I know it. We have had that conversation.
I think it would
I
do
will
well.
tell you,
I think
we
it would
have
do
had
well.
that conversation. What else?
We've
Faith?
had a request for an unflavored bourbon cream too, but we decided we wouldn't do that because there's already a product on the market. So, I mean, unflavored. No.
We can't compete with Buffalo Trace, and
No.
we know that.
Yeah.
And
Speaking of Buffalo Trace,
yeah,
do you think that the flooded barrels is going to come out as a specialty?
yes,
Yes.
I think they're going to make some money off of that.
Oh yeah.
they will.
The river flooded last year,
Yep.
Mhm.
and all the barrels were floating and
They
stuff.
were floating.
They're gonna make some money on that.
As long,
Yeah.
yes, they will. As long as anything didn't get in, and
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the integrity stuff.
The
As long as they
integrity,
can call it,
yeah.
the floating barrel or whatever.
I know it.
they're gonna-
I would
Oh,
make.
absolutely.
We sent 8 barrels last year out to Galveston, Texas.
Mhm.
There's a little small distillery out there some friends of ours have, and it sits in between the bay and the ocean. It's called Texas Tail Distillery. And we sent 8 barrels out and aged it in the salt
For 8 months.
for 8 months. We just pulled them home March of this year.
Yeah, we brought them back because we didn't
And,
want to lose too much.
It's in our Effie
Yeah.
Jewel series, and she will turn 4 in January.
January.
And we're following real close her maturing, and so far it's been really good. You do not get, there's a brininess to it, but it's not offensive. It's like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
We know it because we sent them out there
Right.
and
Mhm.
flew out there a couple of times to check on her and all of that. But if you're just buying the bottle, you're going to say, oh, that is so complex. What are those notes that I'm
Yeah.
tasting? And we put her in the salt. The heat
Yeah.
in Texas, holy moly.
Mm.
Oh, I
Way
know.
different.
The humidity,
Yeah.
and then the salt. So those 3 components every day for 8 months,
Yeah.
she was exposed to. We will release those bottles next year.
Okay.
Yes.
So far,
Excited.
she's tasting really, really, really good. Effie Jewel. She's getting the complexitiness of it that we like. So we like to do unusual things like that.
Mhm.
That's pretty cool though.
We like
Mhm.
to do collaborations. Like this was a collaboration with Wolf Mountain up in Dahlonega, a winery up in Dahlonega. Great winery up there, award-winning, super nice guys. Vineyards are just spectacular, and they had just emptied a Taraga wine barrel. A Taraga wine is similar to a Cabernet. It's deep, beautiful, rich Cabernet. And it was exactly 2 years ago today that we were up there. We got the barrel, and about the time we got the
And it
barrel,
was a French oak barrel.
it's a French
too,
oak.
which is a beautiful barrel.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
because
barrel.
wine can be aged in
Yeah.
different casks,
Yeah.
whereas bourbon has to go into a white oak. So we were up there on the mountain talking to them, and my phone rang, and it was my youngest son, and he's like, Kayla's in labor, she's at the hospital. So our last 2 grandchildren, twins, were born 2 years ago today. We flew down that mountain with that barrel in the back of the truck, slid into the Distillery of Modern Art, we call it DOMA, where we distill, got Uncle Bo poured him in there, and then took off to the hospital. And we let him sit a year and from August till November, and we would test it him every probably every other month we'd
It
go
was
up.
like time is of the essence because they had just emptied that barrel.
Yeah.
And we didn't want it to dry out, and they pulled the bung out of it, and it just smelled. The
Oh,
aroma was
gosh.
fabulous. So we went straight to the distillery, and we were like, "Hurry up and get this,
Get it
this going,
get
that
this
bourbon
going.
in this barrel." It was
Anytime you
fun.
reuse, and that's another good point about barrels. So when we empty a barrel, we cannot use the barrel again for bourbon. We can use it to finish something else, or other people
You could sell
can
it.
use
Yeah,
it.
you can sell
So
them.
Line Creek locally has used our barrels a couple of times to do some finishing on some of their craft beers. Winemakers, they can use our barrels to finish their wines. It's almost like we use wine barrels to finish some of this, they use that. So finishes are really, really cool in my opinion, because you have your bourbon and it's been in that same cask for 4 years, and you're like, that's good, but I wonder what would happen if I put it in a sherry or a rum or a Taraga, and just give it a little bit more depth.
Yes.
And those are some of our favorite bourbons. Like we love Angel Envy, the rye that's finished in the rum barrels, the coconut rum barrels. That's one of our favorites. And so we're small enough that we can do that. Like sending those 8 barrels out to Texas, we're small enough, and they were small enough that they could accept them. And we can do those things.
Right.
We can get creative, and like the floating barrels, there's only 8 of those barrels, so it would be a limited release. We've not done it. Now we're looking at possibly doing it. That was on the Gulf. We possibly looking at doing it maybe down in St. Augustine. There's a distillery down there that one of our friends is really good friends with, and they're like, we could do some barrels down there and do it on the Atlantic side. So we're trying to do those different things. Experiment, because people want something different. And I think that's been a little bit of our success, and I say that very humbly and very gratefully, because we're nowhere near what the Kentucky bourbon people are, but the small successes and the small wins we've had is because we're different.
Yeah.
Try different things.
We grow our own grains.
Everything's local.
We create, everything's local. We're okay trying different things, different finishes, cooking our own hot honey, you know, doing some different concepts, using real peach puree in the peach whiskey. Just being able to do that, to me, is kind of what sets us a little bit apart from other people. Not that we're right and they're wrong. Nobody is in this business.
Right.
No.
Everybody makes a good product.
Taste.
That's right.
But we're small enough that we can do a different kind of thing. So,
Well, I wish that we had more time here, because I could sit here and really talk to you guys about it all day, because you're super passionate about it, and that's what really is going to make it stand apart from all these other brands that are out there. And I mean, I got a wealth of information from you guys. I don't really drink; it's not my thing. I'm more of the tech is more my thing.
Right.
And so, but I learned a lot just from being here from you guys. So, but we're running out of time here. But where can where can the people find you folks at? You have a website? Or?
Absolutely. It's www.docbrownfarm. One farm, no S on the farms. It's docbrownfarm.com.
Okay.
And then we are on our website. You will see the retail locations that we are in. If you go to on the website, it'll have where you can find us retail, and then there's also a link that says "Buy Our Spirit," so you can order straight off the website, come straight to your door, or in any of the stores in Georgia. If you're traveling to Texas, we're carried in stores out in Texas. And so, but basically go to our website. We try to keep our social media current.
Okay.
We try to keep our website current. We're constantly updating everything, so folks should be able to go there and really see where they can buy us.
All right.
And then we've opened the farm up once a month in the summer months while the corn's growing for farm tours. So people can come do what y'all just did, see us, see the corn that we grow. We've got a big Santa Claus event coming up in November where people can come out to the farm and their kids can actually see Santa and experience Santa on a farm. So we're just trying to let the local folks know how much we appreciate their support and how much we want to share what we do with other people.
Right. And we appreciate you guys coming because that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to be more of the local part of the local poor.
Trying to go
Yeah.
around.
And like we've been to
Yeah.
a few local places, and we're just trying to spread the word. So, I had no idea you guys were out here, and I imagine a ton
know.
of people that also live here. I've lived here my whole life.
I know.
And so hopefully this will get some information
Thank
out to those people. So.
And we appreciate folks like you.
Share,
we,
share,
do.
share.
Share,
Once you
share,
see
share.
it, share it.
Yeah.
We
Right.
appreciate.
Now we appreciate y'all
do.
taking the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
We got like 2 minutes left. You got anything else you want to?
I'm good.
All right. Well, we thank you guys.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you. It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you so
So
much.
much.
Pleasure to be on your show.